One of the worst things about being a man is that you're born with no value, right? When you're born, you have absolutely no value, and you need to build that value up as you get older. But that's also one of the best things about being a man, right? Your life is like a video game. When you get a video game, what happens, right? You start off with a character that's got basically nothing, and you need to build yourself up until you have like an empire, right? You're this beast, this unrecognizable beast. And same thing happens in life with, as a man. Now, obviously, in this day and age, you have a problem with where men are, instead of like achieving things in real life, we're getting them through, artificial things, right? Instead of going out and, getting as good as you can so you can actually attract the woman of your dreams or whatever. You can just watch it on online, and doing the deed, I'm talking about. You can just do that, right? Instead of going out there and building empires and stuff, you can just go and play video games, right? You can just go and build yourself an empire on whatever game it is you're playing, right? Instead of going out there and learning how to shoot a gun, going through the trials and tribulations of doing that, you can just go and play some video games, play some first shooter games. You can learn how to do that very quickly. You can kill people. If you die, it's okay. You get to restart your life, that sort of thing. You just don't have that in real life anymore as men. And I think that if you can manage to find a way to make your life into a video game, right, you will do so well in life. You will be much better than most men these days, right? Instead of putting all that time and effort into video games, put them in your real life, right? And I know it's difficult because life is boring and everything's a lot faster. I mean, everything's a lot slower. It's a lot more difficult. But the beauty of it is that the rewards are a lot more tangible and they last longer, right? And you can actually feel them in a video game. You'll achieve everything, and then by the end of it, you're done, right? In fact, video games, they prey on this mentality, in fact, where it's like, that's one of the best things about life, is that you get to work hard and build and get like the rewards or whatever. And what video games do is they just condense that. They condense that into a much shorter period. It's much easier to get rewards, and it's much quicker. You can change the levels and that sort of thing. But think about it, when you start a video game, you don't ever want to start it with your character maxed out. You don't want to, like, what happens when you use cheats in the game? Like when you use GTA cheats and that sort of thing, it just gets boring, right? If you play FIFA and you use cheats and you buy all the best players in the world, it's boring. You've won the league. After one season, it's boring. You've conquered everything. You haven't had to earn it in any way, all right? And it's the same with life. Now you need to find a way to look at life like this. And one way you can actually like turn your life into a video game is that you find ways to like measure your progress, right? Another way I like to think of it, like veering slightly away from video games, I like to compare it to like a chessboard, right? I like the idea of looking at your life as a chessboard, right? And you're making moves, right? There's this quote I heard from Andrew Tate. It's one of my favorite quotes from him. He was talking about how, as a man, you need to be able to make the best position. You need to be able to make the best move on the chessboard, regardless of how bad of a position you're in on the board, right? So you can be in a position where you look like you're losing, but ultimately just find the best possible move you can make in that position, right? And the same thing applies to life. It's like whatever position you're in, whatever you've got. And the thing is, if you're watching like this right now on the phone, you're better off than a lot of people, right? Like you're watching self-improvement content on the phone, you've got a phone, right? That's like a knight on the chessboard, right? Like it's useful. It's very useful. In fact, I was going as far as to say it's like a rook or like a queen, right? Because you can do so much on this phone, right? And I like to look at life like that, where you make little moves, you use things to your advantage, and everything's just meticulous. I love the thought of that. Like life is just it's your playground, it's your chessboard, and you're making moves and you're controlling everything, right? I like the idea of that. But also just going back to video games, you can build your character. And also another thing you can do is, I made a video about, build your hypermasculine character. You can actually watch it on my channel. But like, yeah, I was thinking about how there are different types of archetypes when it comes to men, right? You have kind of like your clean-cut kind of suit, accountant, Harvey Specter, James Bond kind of look. You have like that kind of look, right? Then you also have like a rugged, like massive, 6'4", 220-pound guy, who's just muscular, and he's built like a bit like a lumberjack. Like his main thing is that he's just massive, and you can tap into that, right? I forgot the other archetypes, but they're different types of archetypes. You get what I mean? Like you used to get like a flashy, like celebrity type of guy. So like if you want to look at it like this, it's kind of like, just imagine the guys that get girls, right? Like there's a wide variety of guys that get girls. there's like you get like your alpha male types, you know, the guys with like rich like supercars, that sort of thing. You get the guys who are just like an accountant, right? Wears a suit, you know, gets to work and that sort of. Those types of guys will get guys. Oh, girls, not guys. Then you get guys who are they're just rough. They're just massive. They've got like the beard, the long hair, and everything. There's that archetype. Then you get like, you know, the rappers, like footballers kind of guys who are like they wear all this jewelry and they're just flashy and that sort of thing. You get what I mean? You can pick like your type of character, right? You can even try to be like, you can imagine you're like a superhero, right? Or if you want to be like a villain, that's kind of becoming like cool in the last couple of days, in the last couple of years. Pick your thing, right? If you want to be like Batman, you know, if you want to be Superman, if you want to be like, who's a villain? If you want to be like Thanos or whatever, whoever you want to be, you can be like that. Or if you want to imagine like you're an emperor or something, like I like that. I like the idea. Like again, I was talking about like the chessboard or whatever. I imagine like I'm an emperor, and you know, there's like I'm building my empire. There's a war coming. I'm rallying my troops. I'm doing all these things, right? Like it's a chessboard. I'm making moves, and that sort of thing. See, that's the beauty of like being a man. You can pick your character, right? And then you start getting better. Right? And then when you get to a certain level, you can sort of strengthen like your weaknesses, right? You can look at your weaknesses and you can try and you can improve those. And then you can complete like main missions, right? So your main mission right now will obviously be like making like a ton of money, so you can like be financially free and that sort of thing. And then when you complete your main mission, you can complete side quests, right? So say like, oh, you've completed your main mission, you're rich now, and you're like, I always wanted to become like a really good like golfer or something. And then you go and you spend a year just playing golf, you're learning how to become good at golf and that sort of thing. That's a side quest, right? Or you want to learn how to fight, spend a year learning how to fight, that sort of thing. You complete side quests, that sort of thing. Like dude, the world is your oyster. Like if you focus all your attention on making your life into a video game, you can actually have like a lot of fun, and you can like be quite focused, and the satisfaction that comes from that is amazing, right? Like I said, in video games everything is just very instant, but whereas in real life everything is slower, but the rewards last way longer, right? If you complete a main mission in like GTA or whatever, okay, cool, you've got extra money in GTA. Nice, right? But in real life, if you complete a main mission in real life and you become like a millionaire, bro, like you're set. So you get what I mean? Yeah, that's all I got for this video. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button down below, and until next time, see you boys.